What's going on, guys? So if you've ever been in my streams, you know I like talking about grilling. I love food. I love smoking food. I love everything to do with outside cooking, okay? I've been enjoying it for, 7, 8 years now. Yeah, I think that's pretty close to accurate. And around during 2020 is when I got particularly like real in depth into the smoking aspect, different flavors, brining, marinade, whatever, different types of barbecue sauces, adding your own touch to the barbecue sauces. And then recently I've been expanding my horizon with different more outside of pork and beef, you know, kind of expanding my horizons outside of that with like lamb and any other type of things I can order. Now, usually your step one to learning how grilling works is literally learning how the grill works, okay? It comes down to a little bit of trial and error on top of that too. And it seems very simple because it is, but for people that don't know, you gotta know what part does what in a grill. And what I'm gonna show you today is actually somebody not knowing that at all. And this is not meant to make fun of the person, except for kind of laugh a little bit at his expense, obviously, because I'm hoping, for the love of God, he didn't build this grill, okay? And two, I think he overpaid, okay? You can get a grill roughly about the same size as what he's got for like $150. I've spent $150 twice on the same style grill. It's a Kingsford. The one I got now is the same exact model, just not called Kingsford. And that's what I use for my own personal, like if I'm just doing some burgers for me for the week or some grilled chicken. That's what I buy. It's a little bitty, like 12 by 12. I think it's 12 by 12, maybe 15 by 15. Well, a little bit wider. It's not exactly 15. I think it's probably like a 12 by 15. But anyway, you get the point. Okay, it's got a little small top, top grate to kind of get it off the direct heat, stuff like that. But what he bought is a little bit more expensive and about twice as useless. And then to top it off, it's missing something. I'm going to let you see and see if you can guess what it's missing.
I bought this at Home Depot. What happened the first time I used it? Is that normal? You ever seen that on a barbecue? What is this like?
All right, so I hope everybody's got their answer. If not, either pause the video, click back a little bit, think about it. Here's a picture. If you can't tell right now, you see this, and you're still mulling it over, I'm going to let you know it is the charcoal grate, not grit. Charcoal grate, okay? You know you have the grate that's supposed to have the food on top. We have the same type of grate, essentially. It's a little bit denser metal, but meant to hold up to just the heat of charcoal, okay? That's all it's meant to do. It's meant to hold up to the heat of the direct heat of charcoal. The shell of it is just meant to kind of just hold it in, hold the heat in as much as possible. And they're not really well built. They're not meant to hold the heat in like an oven that's sealed around pretty much because they're outside. The heat can escape a little bit more. But, a charcoal grill has that grate at the bottom, which also usually has adjusters depending on which one you bought. It could have those two little hand ones that you just pop over, come up, and go right back over. It has two little prongs, two little, phalanges on it, whatever you want to call them. Or like the one I bought, which is a remanufactured Kingsford that has the turn knob. And all it does is take it and make it move this piece, which raises the grates up to, bring the direct heat closer to the grill grates. And if, you want to lower it, I keep mine low at all times. It's pretty simple, pretty easy. And then right below that is usually where you get all the ash. You can just kind of whisk it away. Pretty simple, pretty easy. His doesn't look like it has what mine does, which is an actual ash tray, which is just a big... It's not tin. It's definitely still a type of stronger than tin. And all I do is pull it out, dump it, put it back over, and then I'm good. It's pretty simple. It's easy. The maintaining it's a lot easier, and it was cheaper. It was like $50 cheaper than what he paid. I paid $150. I cannot recommend it enough to people. If you are just cooking for you and like a small family, buy a little the Kingsford style. I don't know the exact brand that I got. It's not Kingsford anymore, but it's a rehashed design of an old Kingsford, but it's just a little square body. It's amazing. I love it.
You got all the paints coming out.
Now, like I said, this right here shouldn't happen. Not at least your first time cooking. Over time, the small bit of heat's going to definitely wear out some of that little paint coating. Little at a time. It's not going to stay. It's not going to last forever. But this is a big no-no. You see it's kind of bowing a little bit. The circular heat you're seeing, it's actually bowing. And it's causing damage. Short-term damage, not long-term. Not, in 10, 15 years, I'm going to have to toss this and buy a new one. No, this thing is absolutely going to be ruined after just a few uses. If not, this is probably the one and only time he's going to be able to use it. If he's lucky.
What the heck? I don't know. This is is gonna last, man. Look at all the paint in there. I already threw a lot of the chips away, but you can clearly see how bad it is. $200 at Home Depot, man. It was just good for one use. It's shot. There's holes in it, it's on.
I just find this innocently funny. It's clearly somebody that didn't know a whole lot about grills. If you've ever seen a whole lot of people, at least in my friend group, a lot of people that want to get into grilling buy those smaller grills like this one. Okay, that was something I've done. I've only ever rebought one because, like I said, it's just me. It's a lot easier to use a small grill. You got to make sure you have a charcoal grate, okay? Because if you don't know, charcoals get like upwards of 2,000 degrees. Okay, they're super, super hot. Being as it gets that hot, it can pretty much liquefy just the shell of a grill. And I mean being directly in contact, okay? Usually when it radiates the heat, gets onto the actual, grill grates, that usually gets around to like 500 degrees, which is usually your optimal like cooking temperature. And then you can adjust obviously from there, roughly 250 to 500. Now, usually when I use my grill, I am looking for 400 to 500 degrees. And when I use my smoker, obviously you're going a lot less, 250, maybe 300, which is a lot different. That's why if you ever look, smokers usually have the chamber for the heat source way away from everything because it's just the smoke heat coming in, not the direct heat. But yeah, when you're messing with a grill like this, always make sure you have a charcoal grate. It would definitely help with the longevity of a grill, especially cheap ones. Like myself, I still keep mine. Mine's like 2 years old now. I absolutely love it. Best purchase I've made for my personal use. You know, obviously my bigger grills are definitely my best purchase, especially like my big monstrous smoker that can fit actual full logs. I love that thing. I just don't get to use it that much because I don't smoke for big groups anymore. But that small grill is perfect. If you want to try one out, definitely recommend. Probably not Nexgrill, okay? Clearly, they may make mistakes. If not them, definitely Home Depot apparently made the mistake. That's another thing I think is funny. It's not really his fault as much as it is the chain of events that come from that. It could have been at the factory where they build it and get everything manufactured, and they forgot to put it in the packaging, or by the time it got to the Home Depot person, they probably said, yeah, fuck that, that's not my job. You know what? He can figure it out. It don't need it. It can hold the heat. It's probably one of those people that don't know much about grills. They just build them and then put them out on the store shelf or at the on the floor, and somebody was just like, you know what? I want to start grilling. Came by, put it in the back of his trailer or bed of his truck and brought it home and completely fucked it up by putting the charcoals directly on the actual tin instead of the charcoal grate. This is one of those things I could talk about for literal hours. I talk about it all the time at work. I talk about it with my buddies. I talk about it on stream nonstop ad nauseum. I can't help it. Grilling is just something I love. I love the flavor. I love everything to do with the wood smoke, the charcoal flavor. I'm not a charcoal purist. I'm going to be one of those assholes to sit there and preach to you, okay? Some people don't like it. Some people do. It's one of those little niche categories of food loving that I'm a part of, okay? But that's about all I got to say. Y'all have a good one.